Our next speakers are Christel Stevens and Lori Clark from the United States. They will be speaking on immigrant and indigenous dance artists, exploring their diversity and importance for dance education.
Good morning. The title of our presentation is Immigrant and Indigenous Dance Artists, Exploring Their Diversity and Importance for Dance Education. Before beginning the presentation, we would like to give our thanks and appreciation to the lead author of this study, Dr. Naima Pribo of American University in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, she was not able to join us today for this presentation.
This paper was written with the purpose of documenting the experiences and challenges of culturally rooted dance artists in the United States, with a focus on the Northeast. These artists face common biases and marginalization in contrast to artists of mainstream ballet and modern dance, a fact that is rarely recognized by the wider arts community or the general public. We have used the term culturally rooted rather than ethnic or world dance, as we feel it is more accurate for our purposes.
Since the 1970s, when significant reforms were made in America's immigration laws, there have been increasingly large numbers of immigrant and indigenous dance artists teaching and performing all over the United States. These dance artists are eager to share their dance forms and their culture, and to be included in the broader community. We surveyed 17 diverse dance artists and interviewed 3 companies with funding that ranges from low, middle, to high. The earliest of our artists to immigrate was in 1969, and the most recent, 2015. They discussed their views of tradition, equity, social justice, contemporary dance, funding, and outreach. Some common themes emerged. Let us now introduce the artists who contributed to the study.
Muhammad Ali is our most recent immigrant dance artist. Arriving in 2015, in a short time, he has managed to gain recognition for his unique Danora and Egyptian folk dance. The very active Middle Eastern dance circuit provides him with a range of performance and teaching opportunities. He is also savvy with social media. However, it can be difficult as an Arab artist operating in the current political climate.
The oldest immigrant artists are the flamenco team of Ana Martinez and Paco de Malaga, arriving in 1969 and currently retired. Renowned artists in their own right, they established themselves in the local community through numerous performances, classes, and school programs. Always clear that they performed to earn a living and hopefully to make a profit, they maintained their tradition at the highest level. However, they found it hard to expand onto the larger scene because of their inability to access funding from grants and other sources, largely due to language barriers, traditional attitudes toward sharing their art, and finally, the challenge of technology.
Ling Tang is a Chinese dancer who is a solo artist with aims of exploring social justice themes. She holds an MA in Arts Management from Columbia University and a BA in Dance and Intercultural Arts from the University of Maryland. She offers Chinese dance and cultural workshops at schools, colleges, and community centers in New York, and is very concerned about the post-pandemic effect on live performance.
Demet Jabbar, despite her company's informal status, has managed to have a large impact on the local Turkish and broader community. She finds it difficult to juggle a hectic personal and professional life with the running of her successful folk dance company. Regardless of these challenges, she is also the chief organizer of Washington, D.C.'s annual Turkish Festival, which draws thousands of attendees and numerous dance and music performers to Freedom Plaza every autumn.
Gabriel Mata, one of the dreamers, whose parents brought him to the U.S. as a child, presents Mexican folk dance with the aim of community building and cross-cultural engagement. He holds an MFA in dance from Maryland University, and he directs the Latinx Movement Festival in Washington, D.C.
Ajete Clufio from Ghana runs an African dance company. He likes to explore social justice themes through his art, as he has experienced discrimination while developing his company.
Nelly Zapata's company, Las Diabladas, caters to the large Bolivian community in the D.C. metro area. They struggle for space to rehearse and often do so in commercial parking lots. Actually, it's great to see their rehearsals. You can go shoe shopping and see them rehearse. They perform in parades and festivals on a volunteer basis.
Sutira Nagaparaja is a Thai dance artist who uses her skills for healing and reconciliation. She has also learned Cambodian classical dance, and her group, Somapa Thai Dancers, performs professionally in the Washington, D.C. area.
Meki Tualapai is a Polynesian dance artist in the D.C. metro area, operating classes for 30 years, who struggles with keeping up to date with current trends in a place thousands of miles away. Born in the USA, his father is Samoan and mother American. He spent several years living in Hawaii to master the Polynesian traditions of music and dance.
And his whole family now are dancers, his 2 daughters and son. Fabio is a Brazilian dancer who operates a successful ballroom dance studio. He started with tango and Brazilian folkloric dance. It has been hard work, and he is ready for retirement, possibly looking to sell his studio business.
Anyone interested? Asha Balasubramaniam, Tina Sharma, Jayanti Ganguly, Paramita Kar, Kamala Sesar, and Nalini Prakash are all Indian classical dance artists, each with a distinct experience.
Asha, an award-winning artist sitting on the North Carolina Arts Council, has started a foundation to promote Asian arts. The Leela Foundation works on political, educational, and social issues.
Tina has taught and performed Kathak for many years in the Washington, D.C. area, but has not tried to develop her school because of her busy life as a physical therapist.
Jayanti has produced many students of Odissi and Kathak and served her community through topical and unique performances, but always found the operational side, the business of dance, and technology challenging.
Paramita organized a professional dance troupe in Toronto, performing dances of India, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and other traditional cultures at festivals and weddings.
Kamala is unusual here, as she is a Native American. She's a member of the Mohawk tribe who practices East Indian dance and has done so for 35 years, teaching at Lotus Fine Arts in New York.
Nalini Prakash experiments with expanding her dance within the existing tradition and combining that with her expertise in dance therapy. Indian dancers, as you can see, are one of the largest groups of immigrant dancers in the United States.
Most of the artists mentioned funding as an issue. Almost all felt appreciated by the larger community for their work. Some have not managed to adapt to changes in technology and social media. Nalini Prakash eloquently described the difficulty in getting adequate accommodations for cultural performance and being treated on a par with mainstream dance forms like ballet and modern. Securing funding and performance opportunities, I'm quoting her now, and gaining recognition within the mainstream were some challenges that we faced. Also, an ongoing struggle persists whenever we engage with the Western dance organizations that often overlook the significance of providing appropriate spaces for makeup and dressing. They seem to consider restrooms are an adequate space without understanding the cultural implications and the intricate details involved in our makeup and costuming process.
This is very awkward and makes them feel like second-class inhabitants of the dance world. As Eurocentricity causes lack of equity, these artists are treated in ways that show greater respect for ballet, modern dance, or opera than for their culturally rooted forms and heritage.
Cambodian American Heritage Dance was a company that we researched in depth. They have a low level, comparatively, of funding, but a great deal of support from the local community and the Cambodian embassy. They use live music and operate from a community center. Musicians and dancers are from a variety of backgrounds. Being a very traditional company, they have faced challenges modernizing. They have a transsexual company member who, although passionate and dedicated to the art, had to struggle for acceptance. They have also had problems adopting technology. They have no functioning website and cannot accept online payments for tickets. Despite their potential, this keeps them at the local level and from evolving as an organization.
Indigenous Enterprise is a Native American dance company with moderate funding, adequate to sustain and expand. Although Native Americans are from dramatically distinct cultures, they have found a way to present powwow dances that bring together regions and traditions with a common thread. These dances, originally performed as communal activity, have been translated in a creative and entertaining way for the concert stage. They do a great deal of outreach to local schools when they tour, and every show has a strong educational component. They are able to tour consistently at a professional level and look forward to a sustainable future. It's the hoop dance.
Ballet Hispanico is currently funded by a $4.5 million grant from the Ford Foundation, a high-level international professional company. They started in 1967 as a culturally rooted dance group, teaching Latin American dances to children in the Bronx, New York. Today, they are led by director Eduardo Villar. During our interview, he expressed satisfaction that the company has been able to persevere through discrimination and positively deal with issues of diversity and inclusion. He stated that one must combat limits with exceptional work. He hopes to continue using technology as a tool to create great works, but is also concerned about its possible effect on the dance world.
It is clear that funding, as well as adaptability to change and forward thinking, are beneficial to the growth of culturally rooted dance artists. Being able to overcome language barriers and plow through bureaucracy is essential to growth. The struggle to be treated as equal to the mainstream culture continues. All the participants of the study are passionate about their art and want to share that with a wider audience, but many have concerns about the lasting impact of the pandemic, not only economically but culturally and psychologically. Since the writing of this paper, concerns have increased for immigrants facing a toxic and sometimes violent political climate. Currently, all the arts are suffering in a sort of limbo, and we can only hope for change. In documenting some of their stories, we hope to show how these dance artists enrich and educate our society.
When we conducted this survey, we ourselves knew what the answers would be because of our own professional experience as culturally rooted dancers. And we suspect that many of you have similar stories to tell. Please share your thoughts and questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We still have 3 minutes, so this would be a wonderful time for any questions or comments.
Yes, thank you.
Please stand up.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for your presentation. I learned a lot. So you're based in DC?
That's correct.
Okay. And I have actually 2 questions. I'm curious about your own practices because you were saying that you are also culturally rooted artist, dance artist yourself. And then the other question is, have you observed or heard the artists talk about collaboration with each other across cultural?
Collaboration is one question that we asked them about, and I would say it was probably about 75% said that they collaborated, and most of them are open to some level of collaboration, and some wish to remain more traditional. But it's, of course, it's more and more the reality. I mean, I don't see how anyone can avoid it.
Usually for collaboration, they mean collaborating between their individual cultural style and not another individual cultural style, but with a mainstream dance form like ballet or hip-hop or modern dance. I've seen collaborations between Bharatanatyam dancers and a ballet company. That kind of thing does happen occasionally, not all the time, but they like to do it because it brings them audience.
And her other question had to do with your own performance.
Our own backgrounds. I've studied Kathak, flamenco, and Middle Eastern dance. I've been a professional performer for most of my life, and now I teach at George Mason University and Washington Ballet. I did start out as a ballet and contemporary dancer, but really early on preferred other art forms, or at least to combine that.
And I myself specialized in Bharatanatyam and later Manipuri classical dance styles from India. And recently, I'm operating a dance company in Washington, D.C. called the Nomad Dancers. We specialize in Central Asian dances, including Uzbek, Afghan, Tajik, and related dance styles, which we perform around the Washington, D.C. and up and down the East Coast areas. Any other remarks, questions, please? No?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good.